Good morning. Please join me in a responsive reading of Judson's Land Acknowledgement, which you can find on page 4 of your bulletins, and you get to read the text that's in bold. Place is more than just a piece of land. It is a piece of who we are. For too long, we have associated this place where Judson Church sits with our European American roots, forgetting the people who called this place home for centuries before us. Minnesota, Mkoche, land where the waters reflect the sky, specifically this part, Twin Cities. It is home to their creation stories. It is where they hunted, fished, harvested, and cared for the land, raised families, celebrated life in community, and laid their bones to rest. We acknowledge that we, the people, our ancestors and governments, forcibly removed the Wakpekute from their ancestral lands through relocation, warfare, execution, imprisonment in concentration camps, starvation, disease, and forced assimilation. Treaties were made and subsequently broken by us. We remember and lament the history of this land. Today, we acknowledge and appreciate our Dakota, Anishinaabe, and other indigenous peoples as neighbors and fellow citizens who commit to our neighbors, to stand together, and to learn from them as we create unity as the Creator's face.
Well, good morning again, everyone, and welcome those online. I know we got a bunch of people again tuning in, so we want to say hello to them. So just say hello, online people. Hello, online people. Yeah, we see you all there. Thanks for all that. It is Communion Sunday, so for those online, if you can go ahead and get your elements ready, whatever you want them to be. And for those of you here, it is, since Communion Sunday, it's also Name Tag Sunday, because when you come up to receive communion, we're going to say your name to you. So if during the service, but before communion, if you could please go back, there's a name tag. There are name tags in the back you can fill out. And, if this is the day you want to be your alias, go ahead. We can do that. We can roll with that. Yesterday there were so many things going on. It's been, feels like a week. A week feels like 2 years, kind of feeling of time. But there was a bike ride, a memorial bike ride for Alex Preddy yesterday. I thought there maybe would be 500 people. And as I was riding to Fair Oaks Park, it was just like all of these streams converging into one giant river of bicyclists. And we just kept getting more and more. When I got to the park in front of the MIA, it was just a sea of cyclists. There were 8,000 cyclists that joined. We did a 7-mile ride from Fair Oaks to the Preddy site, Renee Good, and then we ended at the VA home. For me, it was probably the first time I think I've had to grieve for the past couple of months. Not just Renee Good and Alex Preddy's death, but also the abductions, the grief of just the city that we once knew that's just not there anymore. And the nation that we once loved that's just not there anymore either. But we got right past, by the way, it took an hour. If you were standing at an intersection and wanted to cross, it took an hour for 8,000 cyclists to go by. I didn't hear anybody. I saw only 2 people complain that they couldn't get through. The rest of everyone was just honking their horns in support and love. When we got to the memorial site of Alex, there were a bunch of veterans that were stationed around. And they all had on their either, Air Force or Army or Marine Corps uniforms or some kind of regalia that notified them that. And they were standing along the bike route. And as we were just, basically, when you got 8,000 people, you're not really riding. You got one foot on the pedal and one foot on the ground, you're just scooting, you know? And we're kind of scooting past all these guys, and they come out into the bike riders and just start shaking hands and hugging people and just saying thank you and just crying. And their tears and our tears, it was just the most holy thing I think I've ever felt. And I just wonder, were some of these guys, were they veterans that had been to the VA and Alex was their nurse? Or maybe their friends were Alex's nurse. Was their friend's nurse. I don't know, but it was amazing. We went down Portland, and I've ridden Portland, I don't know, 1,000 times. And there were people that I've never seen on Portland. You know, neighbors that are hidden. You know, neighbors that don't look like most of us here this morning, that came out, were dancing, were cheering with their signs. There were kids standing on the top of snow piles with ice out signs. Do you remember those little toys when you were a kid? It was a kind of a prank. It was like a can, and you would open it, and this giant thing would spring out at you. I think that's what Minneapolis, Twin Cities, is right now. Yeah, I don't think that ICE or DHS or Border Patrol has any idea what they have unleashed in us as a community and as a people, as a compassionate and caring people. They have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no promises on how this will end. But I know this, that there's a deep love that will never be defeated. And I'm confident in that love and in that sense of community. So as we worship today, we have this meal, we have some stories, we have recollections. We're gathered here. Let's take some strength in that community, in that sense of well-being, and in that sense that when God calls 2 or 3 people, mountains start to move. It's great to see Van Johnson here this morning, everyone. Yeah, so it's great to see you. With that, I'll invite Brian to lead us in the call to worship.
Yeah, please join me in the call to worship, which is also in your bulletin. Even in the rush of our daily lives, let us stop and breathe in the awe of a God who paints the sky and holds the stars. Forget for a moment the manicured gardens and look to the wild, untamed places, the towering ancient trees and the roaring, unpredictable waters. Let us wake up to the wonder of this day and worship. The first lesson is a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called, "How Would You Live Then?" What if 100 rose-breasted grosbeaks flew in circles around your head? What if the mockingbird came into the house with you and became your advisor? What if the bees filled your walls with honey, and all you needed to do was ask them, and they would fill the bowl? What if the brook slid downhill just past your bedroom window so you could listen to its slow prayers as you fell asleep? What if the stars began to shout their names, or to run this way and that way above the clouds? What if you painted a picture of a tree, and the leaves began to rustle, and a bird cheerfully sang from its painted branches? What if you suddenly saw that the silver of water was brighter than the silver of money? What if you finally saw that the sunflowers, turning toward the sun all day and every day, who knows how, but they do it, were more precious, more meaningful than gold?
ask the children to join me up front, please, this time. Yeah, thanks, Rose. Yeah, compared to last week, right? That's a great part about our friends at Calvary, right? They had a lot of kids there, wasn't there? Yeah. What did y'all feel? Did you feel like how did you feel to share the time with children and share the space downstairs? How did that feel? Was it crowded? Crowded? Too crowded? Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, okay, quick question. Hey, what is your favorite food? What's your favorite food? Yeah. Pizza. Great. Good one. Yeah. Rose, you got one? Hey, come on, Caitlin. Yeah. Hey. It's okay. It's all right. Come on, sit down. Yeah. You can sit down. Yeah. It's okay. Hey, we all got here. Yeah, we got here. What's your favorite food? Do you have one?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. You want to tell me, Rose? You got one? Greek salad. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. You don't know? Don't know? Food. Really? Do you like some? Okay, let's just say this. Here's a question I've got. What if, somebody could deliver something to your doorstep every morning? It's in a food. It could be Uber Eats, it could be a restaurant, it could be anything. They would deliver one food to your door. What would it be? Really? You still don't know? What's ramen kazam? Yeah. Good one, yeah. What's it? Noodles and Company. Oh, good one. Yeah. You still haven't got one yet? Okay. Yeah. Anybody want to change theirs? Feel good with it? All right. Let's ask a question like this. What about communion? Is it one of your favorite meals? The grape juice. You like the grape juice? You like grape juice? Yeah? Coconut curry. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I like that. What a change. And you're like, what's what? Grady's with friends was? Yeah. That's okay. Elizabeth's running. Yeah, okay. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. It's all good. Yeah. Your daddy and mom, are you? Yeah. So we're all good here. Yeah. Jeff, she's telling too much? No, okay, yeah. Rose, you have a favorite part of communion? Eating it? Yeah, good. Yeah. Do you have a favorite part of communion? Favorite part of communion?
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So we got good things. So the twins are just crashing, I mean, it's like they've never been here before, right? Yeah. Or they've just gotten too comfortable, haven't you? People have done this during pastoral counseling sessions, by the way. They have done similar things, so trust me, I can roll with it. It's no big deal. Yeah, they have just come and laid down and just not paid attention to a word I've said. I'm used to it. So we do have communion here today. Are y'all anybody willing to help out this morning, like pass out the blessings or anything? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. You don't have to do a blessing. What would you like to do?
I want to do grape juice.
You want to do grape juice? Okay. Well, yeah. You can do the bread. Okay. We're going to ask for people to help out. We don't have assigned helpers today. We're going to do it New Testament style. Whoever wants to come forward and help gets to come forward and help. So whoever the first one's up here. So first helpers, first up, first help. You're already up here. Look at that. You're already up here. Yeah, you already claimed it. So we'll see what happens. You like my socks? It's a big bird. Yeah. Who do you have on yours? Just some flowers. Where's my sister? You know where my sister is. She's asleep. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Because she's tired.
Is it?
She's asleep. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So communion, we got helpers. Think about your favorite food. Yeah, and like for me, communion, when I was a kid, when I saw Communion Sunday, I would cry and ask my mom to take me back home. Do you know why?
Which one of you would cry grape juice?
We cry because it meant that the service was going to take forever. Yeah. But hopefully it won't this morning, right? All right, Second Bouncing from the Faith Community loves you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me either, yeah. How are y'all doing? My name is Kate, and I appreciate all the table stuff, Travis, because it goes right in with, it's like you planned it, right? Yeah. Not that long ago, I think it was November, we had a breakfast potluck down in the social hall. Y'all remember that? I was seated at the back of the room, far away from the tables, filled with food, but yet, I managed to be among the first in line and the first to sit down with a full plate. A person at my table who was still seated, who hadn't yet even ventured to the food tables, looked at me in disbelief. "How'd you do that?" he said. "It's a muscle memory," I told him. "It just kicked in without me even thinking." When I was 6 years old, my mother and brother and I moved from Philadelphia to a small town in central Florida. My father was an orthodontist. The plan was that he would sell his practice and then join us. He sold the practice, but he never moved to Florida, and we became suddenly a family of 3 instead of 4. In that place, the South, and time, the early 70s, families without fathers were a rarity. It was unsettling to all of us. My mother was suddenly responsible for raising 2 small children on her own. My brother, at 9 years of age, was rattled by the move from a big city to a small town. "But where's the art museum?" he kept asking my mother. "Where's the ballet?" As for me, I didn't understand why my father wasn't there and why we were pretending that everything was fine. All of this is to say that we were 3 people lost, afraid, at sea. One of the older neighbor ladies suggested to my mother that we should go to church, specifically to the Methodist church. It would, she implied, be a way to meet the right people. My mother was never all that interested in meeting the right people, nor was she particularly interested in religion, but she was, I believe, very much invested in finding some kind of ballast for us all. And so we went to church. More importantly, we went to potluck dinners in the social hall on Wednesday nights. Now is the time for me to tell you that my mother was a bit of a hippie, a health nut, if you will. What did this look like? It looked like sprouts. It looked like bread that was made of ground up stones with some twigs thrown in. It looked like sandwiches made of apple butter and unsalted, unhomogenized peanut butter sprinkled with brewer's yeast. My mother flirted with vegetarianism for a while and then dove right in. How did this manifest? It manifested in lentils and brown rice. A lot of lentils and brown rice. My brother and I were so enamored of white rice that we requested it for our birthday dinners. Speaking of birthdays, what was for dessert? Carob balls. Maybe some rye crisp spread with cream cheese and honey. you get the idea. And so now here we were at a potluck in the basement of a church in the small town South. Do I need to tell you what was on that table? Okay, I'll tell you. There was fried chicken, there were sloppy joes, there was macaroni and cheese baked with a crust, there were pork chops, there were biscuits made with lard, there was cornbread, there were mashed potatoes and green beans that had been cooked with bacon, and the desserts past description. The desserts were enough to make you weep. My brother and I learned that if we got to the table and filled our plates before our mother knew what was going on, we could eat our fill without her intervening. It was impossible for her to tell us not to eat somebody else's food when the person who had cooked it was sitting right next to us. So while the minister was praying, while everyone was still seated, my brother and I were serving ourselves. We were the first in line, always. My brother and I were skinny little things. Everyone thought it was darling how much we ate, how we filled our plates before anyone else. Bless them, they said, they need to be fattened up. We were there for the food, there's no doubt about it. But it is only recently that I've come to understand that we were there for a different kind of nourishment. I'm a child of domestic violence. My father was terrifying. There is no other word for it. He terrified my mother, he terrified my brother, he terrified me. The dinner table, in particular, was a loaded place. When we ate together as a family, we were always braced for the table to be overturned, literally or figuratively. But in that church social hall, as I sat with those people, no one yelled, no one threatened, no one pounded their fists and made the silverware jump, no one threw things. It was the first time I felt safe at a table. I write books for children, and it's taken me a long time to realize that with each story I tell, I'm trying to get to the same place, a table, a warm room, people together, eating, laughing, safe. I have made that safe space in books. I've made it for myself, and I've made it for my readers. But I've never given up my search for literal safe tables. 55 years after that first potluck, in a time of terror and uncertainty, I searched again for safety and warmth, and I found it here, and I thank you. I'm not done. I got special dispensation, since as long as I'm up here, I want to read something that speaks to the moment. Right, Travis, you gave me, I'm going to go on longer than the average bear up here. So I'm a huge fan of the Danish writer Isaac Dennison, and I've read and reread Judith Thurman's wonderful biography of Dennison more times than I can count. I'd like to share with you a very short passage from the biography because it resonates so much for us living in these times. In German-occupied Denmark in 1943, it was leaked to the Danish resistance that there was to be a roundup of the entire population of Jewish Danes on October 1st. Jewish leaders made the announcement to their congregations at pre-Rosh Hashanah services, asking everyone present to spread the alarm. Relative warned relative, friend warned friend, Jew warned Jew, non-Jewish Danes warned their Jewish acquaintances. Local resistance leaders were given rosters of names to call. Many people acted privately. One ambulance driver read through the Copenhagen phone book looking for people with Jewish names, drove to their homes in his ambulance, and offered to take them into hiding. He transported many of them to hospitals where doctors and nurses dispersed them with false charts through the wards. 800 were eventually hidden and saved by this route alone. So widespread was the willingness of the average Dane to help that by the evening of October 1st, most Jews found safety somewhere. One Dane wrote of his feelings, "In the midst of all this tragedy, we underwent a great experience, for we saw how that same population, which had hitherto said to itself in all of German power, 'What can we do?' This same population suddenly rose as one man against the Germans and rendered active help to their innocent brethren." In this way, the fate of the Jews was linked with the fate of Denmark, and it galvanized the resistance and the morale of the entire nation. By the beginning of November, 7,200 Danish Jews had been transported safely to Sweden. For the Jews, certainly it was a period of darkest despair. But for the non-Jewish Danes, it was a moment of triumph and the turning point of the occupation. October of 1943 marked a rebirth of hope and dignity through action. Reading accounts of the occupation, you have the feeling that the Danish people's courage did not come simply from their deep humanitarian commitment, their sympathy for the persecuted, or even their hatred for the Germans. This was all part of it. It was an idea of honor, a pride shared by an entire people in their own humanity. They would not stand aside and see it violated.
And in connection with that, Kate, we do want to mention that a month from today, on March 1st, on Sunday afternoon, there will be an event here, Stories and Songs with Kate and Jimmy Langamo. It'll be $10. We're asking for the admission. All the proceeds are going to go to a Joyce Uptown Food Shelf on that. And everybody gets a free book. Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Kate. But also, I mean, really, she's up here saying, like, do I get extra time? Like, I'm going to tell Kate, no. Yeah. Just this one verse from Luke 5:16. Meanwhile, Jesus would slip away to deserted places and pray. Please join with me. Loving God, at this time when our hearts are full and broken, at this time when our hope is waning, when it seems we may not know where the next meal is coming from or who will be at the table with us, but at this time, would you be with us for just a little while? Amen. One of the things on social media this week was, if you get murdered by ICE, how would you like to be remembered? Would you like a vigil? Would you like a sit-in? Would you like a protest? What would you like? And it may seem kind of weird to think about, but it's actually been kind of fun. I submitted this. I would like a bike ride throughout the Twin Cities, and that you end at City's Church in St. Paul, the one where the pastor also works for ICE. I want everybody to ride their bikes 7 times around the church. And then I want everybody to ring their bells And nobody's inside, but let's see if the church collapses. Like the walls of Jericho. How do we think about our death right now? How do we think about the end of time? It may seem like a weird question to ask, but we're a church, shouldn't we be asking those kind of questions? And we're involved in things at whatever level, in whatever capacity, and realizing that just being at the right place, at the right time, can somehow end up in the wrong conclusion. It takes 30 years before Jesus decides that he's ready to do what he was meant to do in this world. I don't know what took him so long. 30 years at that time would have been about the end of a life. Life expectancy was about 35, so he was right there at the end of his days. And he lives his life as if each day is his last. But it doesn't mean it exhausts himself in such a way that he doesn't take care of himself. Sprinkled throughout the Gospels are these little notions that Jesus slips away to pray, to rest, to recharge. We are all running ourselves ragged, delivering food, taking people to work, commuting while we track down ice in our communities, on patrol at street corners, funding or helping with GoFundMes, telling people stories, being present, watching our phones, watching the news, constantly on edge. It's exhausting. Part of me thinks, is this what they're trying to do? They flood the zone with enough anxious moments that eventually we all crack. So the plea I have this morning is for somehow to find out some ways to take care of yourself in the midst of this. You're going to feel guilty, and you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this, and everything else is happening. And yes, things will fall by the wayside, but guess what? The world doesn't revolve around you. It will make its way without you. I've been with you all for a good enough time to say that you all are great people, but none of you are Jesus. But if Jesus had to take time to slip away, so do you. And that's okay. And that's okay. It can be a daily moment of meditation, of yoga, of some kind of silence, listening to some good music, just some kind of daily thing to reconnect and ground you of who you are and what you're meant to do in this world. It can be a weekly celebration like this. It can be a monthly, maybe once a month you try to find, can you just get away to that one holy place that you have in life, whether that's the North Shore or the Southeast or the Driftless area or on the prairie or somewhere. It's a land of 10,000 lakes. It's also the land of 10,000 retreat centers. Trust me, they are out there, plenty of them. And they all have sliding scales. And you can just show up. And the food's terrible. But you know what? It's a great place to sleep sometimes. Bring your own food and your own coffee, and you'll have a okay time. But I say this because we got so much work that we have to do. And I'd like to share just a little bit of the work that's ahead of us. And one is just if you can spend some time, maybe once a week or once a day, trying to tell other people what is going on in our home. Because I can tell you right now, people are not getting the stories. They think we're nuts. They think we're lying. We think we're making it up. That's not really happening. But it is happening. I got a friend from West Virginia who wrote me an email this week saying, please tell me more stories. Because all we are getting is some kind of, constructed narrative that's been, filtered through so many times. And we need to hear exactly what's going on. And realize also that this time is not, we just admit it's not normal. It's not normal that the federal government should be against us. It's not normal for us to figure out ways to do this. So even doing church is going to have to take some reconstruction. how we do our daily week. It's not, we can't do the same things that we've always been doing. And so those things, it means that some things are going to get done, and some things aren't going to get done. And you may only get visited if it's an extreme emergency. And you may send 1,000 emails, and maybe the only thing I can respond to you with is just a heart. Because right now it's about 100 to 200 emails, text, and calls a day. You try to respond to them, but you can't. Some of those calls, some of those emails are from people around the world and the nation. People I have no idea, people you have no idea of, have written their words of support. We're going to print them out. We're going to post them all over the place here, so you can see this wall of care. From Italy, from England, from Ireland, from the states of Alaska, Oregon, Washington, California, Colorado, Nebraska, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Connecticut, Vermont, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York. It goes on. They just keep coming. Words of just prayers and support of people saying, we can't be there with you in person, but we are there with you in all that we can. The service last week with Calvary, it was beautiful. You know, it was about a third Judson, about a third Calvary, and a third of people we have no idea who they were. They just showed up. I don't really know exactly what all happened at that service and what it meant for people, but it meant something in some very deep ways. There were emails this week of people saying that that service healed them in some way. Reporters picked it up. It was translated into some foreign newspapers. It was amazing what happened. Next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, but S-O-U-P-E-R, remember? Empty bowls for Twin Cities will be happening downstairs. And because of that, we're not going to have church up here, because we've tried it, and it's just a complete mayhem to try it. But we'll do this. We've been invited to worship at Calvary next Sunday, to do a joint service there with them. So we'll go to Calvary, if you want to, and then we'll come back here and eat soup. It sounds like a pretty good Sunday. They worship at 10. You can sleep in an extra half hour. And we'll see how it goes. I can't tell you how many times during the week I sit down and just wonder, what is going to happen? When is this going to be over? I think about the things of what I will do, what's the first thing I want to do when this is all over? Somebody suggested that we have the biggest potluck we could ever imagine. The tables are just from one end of Nicollet to the other. And everybody from the city brings their best food, and we just sit and eat and dance and sing. I can't promise you that'll happen this morning in communion. But it's those old lines of a foretaste of glory divine. I think this meal may just be a foretaste of what could happen. So you're invited to come forward when you feel ready. We're not ready to get there just yet, but we want you to know that this meal is open to all, and I hope that you take the time to accept it. For our call to offering this morning, I just want to mention that every Sunday that we have communion, we take up an offering for Starfish Ministries. This is a joint ministry of Judson and Bethlehem Church. All the funds go to people needing help paying rent, utilities, and food, and all of those are at all-time highs for need. So anything you give, will probably be, even though we may get up to around, between the two congregations, around $10,000, that'll be gone in 2 days. So thank you for your generosity at this moment. Our offertory hymn is also our invitation to communion hymn, one bread, one body. I'd ask you to join me in the communion liturgy. Remember, we did this last time, and I wouldn't say that you messed it up, but so did I. So did I. So did I. I'm going to read the communion liturgy. We're going to do the communion liturgy, and then I want to read a prayer that someone sent to us, or a note. Oh God, we remember the worst thing possible happened to Jesus. His friends betrayed and abandoned him. The Romans tortured and killed him. His traumatized disciples hid and fled. But some women went to the tomb. They came back announcing he'd been raised from the dead. They saw him, touched his wounded flesh. He asked them, "Children, is there anything to eat?" And so they ate with him again, meals of wonder, meals of joy, trembling meals of healing for all they had been through, simple meals of nourishment for all that lay ahead. The Spirit has called us, and we've come, with scars and traumas, failings and fallings. We're so grateful for this bread and cup and for this company. We ask the Spirit to bless them and us as memory makes Christ present in this world of truth. You're still with us, Jesus, eating. You're still with us, Jesus, resilient. You're still with us, Jesus, not yet done. And we are still here too. You don't have to turn the page, that's it. Yeah. If you would like to help serving, I invite you to come forward. We got three. We still got to do a couple things, right? Grape juice, you can do it, that's fine. But let me do a prayer first. I got to do a prayer first. So I just want you to sit back down. All right, we're almost ready. Yeah. This is from a doctor, a medical doctor in Albany, New York. As a member of Emmanuel Baptist of Albany, I am writing to offer my own and our members' sincerest words of encouragement and solidarity. The events in your city have involved the dark forces of immoral power that affect your lives every day. Be assured we have seen and we are with you in moral outrage, protest, political action, and prayer. In a recent worship service, I attempted to explain what faith is to our children. The actions of the people of Minneapolis is a living example of faith in action, day after day. As members in the American Baptist family, we stand fast with you in this trying time for your city, neighbors, and our country. Thank you for your faithfulness and willingness to say no to immoral powers. You're walking the way of Jesus, and we are proud to follow you. Your brothers and sisters in Albany, New York. All to say that when we break this bread, it's not just broken here, but broken all over. And it is shared not just here, but is shared all over, that this is a meal where we are interconnected with our brothers and sisters and siblings all over this planet. So you're invited when you feel so ready to come forward and take this bread and cup. Wait, one second. I will give you, the cue is, come forward, guys. All right, now that's going to be the cue. Yeah, not yet. When you feel so moved, take the bread, dip it in the cup, consume it immediately, and experience that grace. There will also be a blessing that will be handed to you. And remember, if you didn't get your name tag, please do so in the back. You can do one because the people that are serving, you're going to say, "This is the cup for you," and you're going to say their name. Are you ready to do that? Can you accept that responsibility? This is the bread for you, and you're going to say their name, all right? This is the grape juice for you, and you're going to say their name, right? On their tag. And if you can't read it, maybe it's, maybe they didn't write it illegibly, right? Maybe it's a name you've never seen. Just say, "Hey, how do I say that name?" Right? That's okay. You good with that? Yeah, and the blessings you're going to have. So on the night in which Jesus was betrayed, he took bread and broke it, saying, "This is my body that is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And in the same way, he took the cup, saying, "This is my life poured out for you. Do this also in remembrance of me. For as often as you take this bread and drink this cup, you do so until I return, and we do likewise." So from those from the north and south and east and west, all are invited to come and feast at the table of God. Amen? You guys, can you come forward to help out serve now? Yeah. Great juice. All right, we got one juice. We need to do a juice. You want to do a bread? Okay. Paul, we need a couple more to help serve. So who's feeling a desire for that? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we need one more blesser. Yeah. If you go, we get a basket of blessings. I'd like to read an email as our closing prayer for communion. I am a congregant at Hillhurst United Church in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Your name and church was given to us, to our congregation, by John Pentland. My thoughts are with you and everyone in Minneapolis during these very difficult times. The recent events are deeply troubling, and I recognize the fear, grief, and uncertainty they are causing. Please know that you and your community are not alone. I hope that you all are able to find strength in one another and comfort in knowing that people afar are holding you in your thoughts and prayers. May peace and calm return to your city soon. Your friends in Calgary, Canada. Amen. We were told that after the meal they had some announcements, and so we're going to have a few here too. I know Scott's got one, and I know that Clay's got one, so we can please go ahead and get those coming. I want to say, remember that next week we are going to meet where? Calvary Church. I'll be there. 10 o'clock. Yep, not 9:30. If you show up at 9:30, I would just be there early. Yeah. Sure. Scott, you and go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, you are all invited to join us tomorrow to protest on the corner of 40th and Lyndale from 4:30 to 5:30. Keith, are you here?
Keith's online. He is online, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
hello, Keith. So Keith is the one who's organized this, but on the first Monday of each month, we are doing a meal afterwards, immediately afterwards. So at 5:30 at the church this Monday, there will be a meal, and Yin, can you tell us what it is?
Well, in the past, we've had pizza and we had soup. So tomorrow we plan to have lasagna. So let us know if you'll be coming so we have enough for everybody. Thank you.
And last week there were, 85 people? Yeah, 85 out, yeah.
Hi, we're going to have a sanctuary cleanup day, February 21st, Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have a few events coming up later, Kate's Book event on March 1st, and we have the trombone choir and probably some other things. We've had a lot of visitors coming here, and we just want to neaten this place up just to put on our best face forward. So if you can, please help out. I think we're going to have a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary, and even if you don't see anything, talk to me or just show up. Saturday morning, February 21st, 9 a.m., and we're going to quit at 1 o'clock because the trombone choir will be rehearsing that afternoon.
Hi everyone. Last week, somebody led a round of Every One of These People Are Ours. That was a song that the group, The Singing Resistance, has been putting on. There's a big event planned downtown this afternoon. They're asking that details not be shared on social media or anything ahead of time. So if you want to participate in that event, come see me after, and I'm happy to share details on what's going on downtown.
Yeah, thanks, Austin. I also just want to say, Deb Patchen has this wonderful, amazing T-shirt on that if you'd like to, this will be the last Sunday, the sign's getting changed tomorrow. So we've gotten more leverage from that sign than you can imagine. Over 200,000 shares and likes on social media. So it's been somebody, even there. Oh, Anton, you've got it on too. No, but despite the weather, the T-shirt. So if you would like to order a T-shirt, we're going to try to do a bulk order this week. Please see Lori in the back, and she's got we've got a little, almost like we have a little spreadsheet that we'll be able to do it. We're going to have a laptop there so you can see what color and size you would like. And it has been made into a hoodie. So if you'd like a hoodie instead, and then now, so does that mean you can have one? Do you have to choose either one? No, you can have both. You can have both. And there's also been a new pink design that's been happening too. So I think over $400 has been raised so far in the sales of these T-shirts and whatnot. We're not getting any of it, and that's fine. Let it be for that. So. You can look at Anton and Deb and look at those wonderful shirts and see, well, I'd like to have one, and then see what colors Lori has back there. All right, is there a, there's not, you're gonna noodle? Okay. Well, with that, let's, Nikki? Security next week with empty bowls. We'll be back to we'll be still the same red door only, but empty bowls will have people at the door that'll be doing vetting and checking. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and, and, I had told before that this was going to be the last time here, but they have switched from the Twin Cities, and next year they are going back to just the Kingfield empty bowls and want to be back here again. So we'll see how that goes. That's good. Man, that was a lot. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Kate, thank you for sharing. Wonderful. The choir, thank you all so much. Thank you for all those helping out with communion. I mean, if kids want to be that eager for communion and to help out, God bless them. God bless them. And Thank you for all those online. And Van, look at you, man, like you got the crutch and you're still coming here. That is pretty amazing. Thank you. Be in prayer for one another this week and with our community. If you know things happening, share. Things are happening. Events are happening all the time, multiple places. You can't be at all of them. Take care of yourself on this. And now just remember that the Christ who came to this world to love it, to heal it, to challenge it. It's the same Christ that'll be with you on the streets, at your bedside, when you're making food, when you're holding someone's hand. Take comfort in that. Amen.